Good morning. It's the first day of the 24 and 48 hour readathon. It is 7:30. I've been reading for the last about an hour, a little more than an hour actually, and I've read a chapter in The Dispossessed. It was 30 pages, so 30 pages is what I've read so far. I think that this is definitely getting very interesting now. There's a lot of things that happened in this chapter. So I'm excited to see how it will end. I have about 60 pages left and I'm excited to see how it will all end up. Definitely very interesting, and I'm gonna get some breakfast and I'll be doing some chores. I need to clean the apartment, get some dishes done, get some laundry folded, and I'm also going to go on a run and then I'll be back and read for a bit. But we'll see how much that takes. While I'm doing the chores I'll be listening to the audio, so I will still be reading, so that's good. But now I'm hungry and I need some food. Hi guys, it is now 10 o'clock, which means we're 4 hours into the readathon now. I have listened to an hour of the audio as well now, and as I said, I read for an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half or something before I got up. So now I'm gonna go for a run, which will probably take about half an hour. I'm presuming I'm gonna try and run for half an hour today, and then we'll see how far I get. And that's it. So I'll see you again later. Hi, I'm a little out of breath now. I was pretty successful with my run today. Okay, it's really noisy out here because of the road out here. I'm sorry. But I decided to run for half an hour today. I was running for 28 minutes. I was not sure how fast I would be at the last bit because I was a bit uphill, so I turned around a little before. But I ended up running 4.3 kilometers in 28 minutes. An average speed of 6:35 minutes per kilometer, and that's okay. I would like to be at around 6 though, so I have a bit to remove of that, but I was taking a little slow because I was running a longer distance today. Usually I'm only going for 3 kilometers, so but now that I know I can go this route, I will definitely be trying to put a little more speed into it next time and see how that goes. But yeah, this was an update. I'm just cooling off, that's why I'm sitting here in the doorway instead of inside because it's really warm. Since my last update I've had a shower after the run, and I've also read another chapter in The Dispossessed. So I'm now on page 277. I'm going to be leaving for a sort of beach trip thing in about 45 minutes actually. So I don't think I'll be able to finish this before, but I'm gonna bring Warbreaker with me. Because yeah, I haven't actually shown you my TBR, but I'll leave a link in the card symbol up here if you want to check out the TBR for this readathon that I decided on reading. And Warbreaker is one of the books that I am close to finishing now. Pretty close to finishing. I've been working on this since the middle of June, so over a month, almost a month and a half. And it worked okay in the beginning, but it was just, there was not a lot of things happening, and then I put it down, and I never should have put it down for some days because I just don't feel like picking it up. And I'm actually buddy reading this with Michael from Michael Harris. I'll leave a link to his channel up in the card symbol here so you can check him out. He's a really good friend, and we're both really stuck with this book, and he's at the point where he's considering DNFing it. I don't think I want to DNF it because I think there's some things that are really great about the book. It's just they're not really fleshed out. But yeah, anyway, now I'm gonna eat some breakfast. This is 2 pieces of rye bread and fried eggs, and ketchup. It's a decent lunch and it will keep me settled for quite a while. And after the run, I am really hungry. So this was an update for now. Bye bye. Hi guys, I am back. I haven't read anything. Not much at least. I managed to read about 20 pages in Warbreaker on my beach trip. So not a whole lot. And I don't know. It took about 30-45 minutes to drive there. So I guess that's okay. But I wanted to read something on the way home again, but when we were at the beach, I was hit with another sort of migraine sort of headache. I've mentioned it before on my channel, but I'm suffering from major headaches pretty frequently. For a long time I've thought that it was tension headaches, like if I don't know, if I sat wrong, if I was stressed or something that provoked it. And I'm still not sure if that's it, but my doctor thinks it might be migraine. So yeah, and so now I'm currently on a sort of treatment plan, and I have had to do a sort of diary log where I cross out how bad the different headaches have been, and I just finished filling it out, so now I can hand it in at the doctor's. So yeah, and so it was the worst drive back ever. I was really nauseated and I was just trying to relax and getting some sleep, but they were all talking in the car and then it's difficult to sleep. And yeah, so as soon as I got home I just laid down to sleep, and that went okay. I got some painkillers when I got home, and now it's 9, so 5 hours later. And I'm feeling better, but I haven't read anything, obviously, because I can't read while I'm having these attacks. But since I'm feeling a little better, I want to try and finish this, and maybe I'll grab a graphic novel, or I'll be starting in on this one to try and finish it. But a graphic novel seems like a good thing because I can finish it maybe pretty fast, and I don't have to think too much. It's not a lot about just watching the images and illustrations and stuff, so I might be doing that, but we'll see. I'm hoping the headache will stay down, but it's still a little, I can still feel it a little bit. But yeah, I also just really want to finish this one because I only have those 40 or so pages left. Hi, sorry for the darkness. I am just on my way to bed. I finished the Dispossessed now. It took me forever because I kept almost falling asleep. But sleep time it is for me now because I'm so tired. It's about 11, so I could have probably read for longer if it wasn't because I'm extremely tired from the headache. I managed to read 4 hours and 33 minutes today, which was not a lot. If I hadn't had the problems with my headache, I probably would have read more like 8 hours, at least 7 hours. I'm happy I did manage to finish the Dispossessed. Hopefully I'll manage to finish a lot more tomorrow. I don't have many plans, so hopefully my headache will stay away. But yeah, this was it for now. Good morning. It's now 6:30 on Sunday morning. So I just woke up after about 7 hours of sleep. I'm going to be starting with Fruit Basket because I'm tired and I feel like this will be an easy read. And then afterwards I'll dig into Warbreaker. Hi guys, I'm back with another update. It's now about 10 o'clock. I finished Fruit Basket and I've gotten some breakfast. And I was thinking I was just going to be
reading for a couple of hours, but then I checked the weather stats and it's going to be raining heavily from around midday 12ish and until about 5 or 6. So I wanted to get a little walk out before because I'm afraid of getting a headache again, so I wanted some fresh air. And I also have to go to a grocery store to get some things for the next week as well, just quickly. And yeah, so now I'm going to go for a little walk. I'm going to listen to my audiobook while I'm walking, and then we'll see what else will happen.
I'm back with another update. It is now 10 minutes past 2. I don't remember if I mentioned it at my last birthday when I was going for a walk, but I managed to finish Fruit Basket Volume 1, and it was a really, really cute story. I really enjoyed it. It's about a girl who is living in a tent on her own because she's lost her mother, and her grandparents are rebuilding an apartment, but she can't really stay with them for some reason, so she's staying in this tent. The tent is on this ground that is owned by these 3 boys, and so they end up finding her and they take her in, and the story basically goes from there, and it's about sort of zodiac animals. I just really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun and cute, and I'm definitely intrigued to get into the next volume in this, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I was listening to about 40 minutes of my audio, so I am 80% done with the audio. I said before in my TBR that I wanted to finish all the books I was working on. It's not exactly true that I just need to finish all of them. The audio is okay if I don't finish that, and I will finish it after the booktubeathon because it was not exactly part of my TBR, so it's been something that I've just added because I wanted to listen to this. But my current physical books that I was reading were some books that I really needed to finish. And so I've also been working on Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson now, and I am on page 513, so I've read about 80 pages in Warbreaker so far. But I want to switch book now. It's not that it's not good, but I want to get started on The Woman in Cabin 10, and I'll get back to this one later. I like switching my books every now and then, and I'm gonna be focusing on The Woman in Cabin 10 for a couple of hours, see how far I get into it, how quick it is of a read, and then I'll get back with an update for you. Yeah. Hi guys! So I finally finished Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. Overall, it's kind of complex, but it was a little dull at times. It was really slow moving, and that's what made this a real struggle to read overall. But the last, I want to say 150-200 pages, between that I had a really hard time putting it down because finally things were happening, and I knew that was what was going to happen because I know Sanderson's writing. He usually has some pretty incredible plot twist that you don't see coming. I mean, I really tried guessing how it will all be, and I'm never correct when it comes to those plot twists, so that's always a joy to see how he weaves the story together in the end. And I do think that the characters finally were fleshed out correctly in the end, and so I end up on a 3.75 overall for this, but because the first 400 pages were dull, I have to knock down almost 1.5 star for this. Definitely not as impressed with this as the Mistborn books, but this was also one of Sanderson's very early novels, and I can see he was already pretty talented then, and that's how he's developed as a writer. That's pretty amazing to see. I've also started in on The Woman in Cabin 10. I'm on page 78. Not a whole lot has happened except that the main character who's on this cruise now, she was robbed in the first chapter. So she kind of hit her face, got a bump on her face because of that incident, and now she's on this cruise with a lot of others. She's been sent there by the newspaper that she's working for as a journalist. So I don't know what's gonna happen now. It's been pretty quiet so far, but it's still pretty engaging. I feel like I read pretty quickly. But currently I've done about 12 hours of reading. I've read 637 pages overall, and I'm pretty happy with that. So I finished 3 books. One of them was a graphic novel or a manga, and I got into another one, and I'm close to finishing my audio. I only have about 20% left, so that's also really good. And I've really enjoyed listening to that. It's been a lot of fun participating again. Although I knew I wasn't going to be able to reach the 24 hours, it was only half the time this time around. I'm happy with my progress, and it definitely helped me. I probably would have read a lot more had I not had the headache yesterday, but I ended up doing pretty well considering. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, so this was all for now. I'll see you in another video very soon. Goodbye.